YouTube, this is Shayna, and I just got finished watching Tyra Banks' episode on good hair. I missed the original airing, but just watched it a few minutes ago, and just have a few comments on what I heard and what I saw. First, addressing the term good hair. It sickens me actually to hear people say good hair is not, is not kinky, it's not curled, it's straight and permed and all that foolishness. To me, good hair is simply healthy hair. I think because healthy hair, everybody has the ability to have. It's all about how well you maintain your hair, how well you keep up with it, clean and put together. For me, is healthy hair or good hair. I don't think it's defined by perms and straightening, because actually in reality, perming and straightening actually will do more long-term damage to your hair than people actually know. But and to be clear, I'm not coming from a biased place because I have worn a perm before, so I'm speaking from an area where I've been to both sides. I've been natural now for the last 3 years, but I've been primarily natural my entire life. I've only had 2 perms, and simply because I can't take care of a perm. And a perm has really damaged my hair, and it wasn't until high school where I decided to no longer touch a perm ever again in my life. But I think when I see African American people, men and women and children, with locks or braids or fros, I enjoy it because, like I said, it's all about how you maintain it. If you are the type of person that is always at the beauty salon, whether you're getting a perm, whether you're getting your braids, and you're keeping up with the routine maintenance, that to me is healthy hair. Perm, there's nothing wrong with a perm. Because a cousin of mine has always had a perm, and she has a beautiful head of hair, but she keeps up with it. That to me is healthy hair. I love to see, even men who keep up with their braids and keep it washed and clean, and that's when it looks shiny, that's when it looks healthy. That to me is healthy hair. I love to see women with fros and see men with fros, because that shows that you're not afraid of what your hair is. Not to say that perming your hair is saying that you're afraid, but I mean it takes a strong-headed person to go against the stigma. I think a lot of times we as African Americans put the stigmas on ourselves. We make ourselves negative, and when outside races see that, all that they're doing is seeing as ammo. Basically it's like, okay, black folks can't even agree on something as simple as hair. Something as small as hair. I love going to African art festivals, because then you see a whole range of hair. You see the perms, you see the locks, you see the braids and the curls and the updos. All that variety is the beauty of our hair. And to say you have to have one or the other is just utterly ridiculous to me. To see moms perming a 3-year-old child's hair, that is utterly ridiculous to me. She's 3. She's 3. She has to learn to explore her hair first. Or to hear a mom say she deliberately had a child outside of her race because she didn't want nappy-haired children. Okay, it's just stupid. It's stupid. Honestly, and I'm sorry, that's just ignorant. Because what you went through doesn't necessarily mean your child's gonna go through that, and it's kind of sad actually. To see these little girls who are, and I think they're being, in a sense, brainwashed to see both sides of the spectrum. All they know is permed straight hair, and then all of a sudden, they're looking at kids who don't have permed straight hair as lower class. And I don't think we see the effect that they're having on these kids in the future. As somebody who's had perms, I have no problem, no quarrels against permed or unpermed people. When I got my first perm when I was 6. That perm chewed out my damn head. I went from having long hair to having basically a bald head from having a perm. And it took me 2 years to grow back my hair. 2 whole years, and it wasn't until I was 16 when I put another perm in, and the same thing happened. When I had those perms, I didn't have healthy hair. because it wasn't, that was bad hair for me. It wasn't healthy. It was uneven. Just, it looked a mess. I looked bald. That to me is bad hair. And don't get me wrong, I love short looks in some people. I love to see people with short looks. I love to see women with bobs. I love to see women with a boy cut. That, you know, if it works for you, it works for you. But as long as your hair is healthy, is clean, is kept, it's managed, you have good hair, whether you are permed or not. That is good hair. Now, bad hair is the ones running around with an inch of hair because they tore it up with bad weaves and bad perms. So that to me is bad hair. But to see a woman or a man with a long head of hair, whether it's locked or unlocked, permed or unpermed, and you could tell that there's just a certain quality of healthiness to it. And I keep reiterating healthy because that's the truth. Whether you're black, white, Asian, somewhere in between, if your hair is healthy, that is good. That's a good quality head of hair. Cause I've seen white folks that got some damaged ends. I've seen some white folks that got some damaged hair. Don't get it twisted, you know. And I've seen people that wear perms. It's like, whoa, chill out, cause your hair look a little rough. Like, at the end of the day, healthy hair is good hair. Good hair is healthy hair. Bad hair, unhealthy hair. Are we getting this? Okay, good. And to the first three panelists, and this is coming from a biased place at this point. When she was telling the young lady that had her hair locked that now when your hair locked, you don't wash it for 3 months, that's untrue. First of all, I need you to do your research on locks. Do not come from an ignorant place with that. We can wash our hair when we actually have to wash it before we get it done, and it needs to be washed every 2 to 3 weeks. So don't ever say that because your hair is locked, you don't wash your hair for 3 months. That is untrue. Do not say that. I need you to understand where you're coming. I need you to know your information before you say shit like that on TV. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to be angry about it, but it's like that for me is a personal attack. Whether she may not be talking to me, but I have locks, a healthy head of locks, and from the first day I got my hair done, I was able to wash it. Before you even sit down and let them twist your hair, it's washed and it's pampered. So before you or anybody says anything about locks and you don't know what you're talking about, I suggest you learn, read up on it, know your information. And moving on, I digress. It's so frustrating, you know, because we put that division, as African American women, we're putting that division in the middle about good and bad hair. That's us doing that. That don't take the black men, don't take people outside of our race. That's us doing that to us. And granted, you know, our heritage, we had to adapt this, that, and the third. Just because they adapted to it, don't make what they came from bad. You know, just because our slaves and our ancestors had to adapt to the American way of life, don't mean what they came from, the African roots, are bad. Just because they had to adapt to a certain hairstyle does not mean that the kinky hairstyle and froze that we came from are bad. And we live in a different time frame. This is a different time in history. You know, this is the time to embrace who we really are. We've been taken through this our ancestral line of history of hating who we are, and that includes our hair. You know, people hate their skin tone, people hate how their bodies look, people hate having big breasts or big butts or, you know, thick thighs, and now we hate our damn hair. It's like we can't win. And the reason why we can't win is because we do that to ourselves on a constant basis. There's no such thing as good and bad hair unless you yourself decides to maintain your hair. You don't maintain your hair, you look a mess, you have bad hair. And I think we all need to understand that. So that's my spiel. Thank you all for listening, and please rate and comment. And this is Shane, and I'm signing off. Deuces.